take them out together. That's just the way the cookie crumbles.
It is absolutely, and it's certainly the marks on your head. What is that called? The
X on your back.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's the one, exactly. So, but definitely some strategy here going into our game number 4. But let's take a look at what you've been saying on the tweeters. We got some tweets from fans, and we've already heard and seen people from all over the globe watching this ALGS championship. So excited to see more of that. Me and my online classes yet watching. Multitasking, I see. So excited, I love Apex Legends. Okay, well done. Stay at school, but like, you know, good job.
Yeah, right. Oh, it's like you're writing things down, and all of a sudden you like accidentally write down sorting factory. It's like, whoops. Oh, all right.
Harvester party. Anyway, yes. Rigo looks. Loki says hello. Oh, there we go. Nice little cat time. Community afternoon coffee with the Just Broadcast. Oh well, hello to you and hello to Loki. Great name for a cat, by the way.
Hello, Loki. We're probably gonna see Kate's cat very soon.
We saw him a couple times yesterday, unbeknownst to me. Watching the ALGS stream with my doggo, Lev from Switzerland. Hey, we love you guys too. This is awesome. Love that picture-in-picture. Thanks so much for joining us here on the screen. And remember, if you want to be part of this broadcast, we'd like to showcase you in everything that you say and do. Go ahead and follow us at PlayApex on Twitter. Use that hashtag ALGS. And then 1,000 Apex coins to you. Hey, speaking of, we wanted to know earlier who in the EMEA Super Regional you have your eye on, and we're going to check in with that poll right now. We want to see if your opinions changed. This is a dynamic poll. It's pulling from all of our different chats and Twitters.
Ooh.
Nessie, there it is. What is up, friends? That's how we do.
I wonder if Cooler's stock is going to continue to rise after a decent game. Na'Vi should probably continue to rise as well. But what's up with the Nuggets and the Crumpets and the Flying Camels and 1907 Fenderbach? Let's give these guys some love. Third Impact Magicians, Flavor of the Month, Australis. Hey, let's boost them up a little bit. Let's get some hype in the chat.
That's right. We know they've got fans. Make sure you check out this. Take a screenshot, do your print screen, whatever it is you need to do. Take out your phone. These are the hashtags. Use them in our Twitch chat. Use them in YouTube live chat. Use them on our Twitters. They will all aggregate into this very popular vote. Let's give them as Tom mentioned. Today is one of those days. As Tom mentioned, we've got a lot of great teams here. You are the reason for the season, so get your popular vote in. Vote early, vote often, have some fun, and give some love to some of these teams. They have made it through a slog just to even get here, so we want to make sure that they are enjoying themselves. Tom, is there anything left you got to say before we head on over to game number 4?
Let's go. Game number 4. Someone's got to slow down Na'Vi before they win this thing.
Sounds like a plan. Over to our casters, but first, take a look at this.
The Winter Circuit Playoffs will be back in 3 minutes.
Battle with a machine that's as savage as you are. Lenovo Legion. Stylish outside, savage inside.
De fighter! 2 knocks! 3 knocks! Ett lag kvar! Han QR! Det är nice try, det är nice try! Back alltså, du måste ta line där alltså. Ja, men de båda... Du måste bara chilla.
Do you have nades? Nades?
Yes, I'm nading it now.
They're
Pushing. I stuck one.
But it is low.
Blow down. Knock one. Nice. Hey, bubble. No, you don't.
I'm hiding.
Play behind me. Play behind me. Play behind me.
We need to point this.
Oh, cool. He's alone. He's alone.
Cracked. No. Nice. Good job.
Fucking go, guys.
Nice. Good job.
We don't have a lot of kills, fuck it.
1 minute. 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 1 minute
Hey guys, Rainday here talking about my favorite laptop right now, the Lenovo Legion 7i. The thing I love about this the most is that it's a gaming PC. It's a beast of a gaming PC, but I can take it anywhere, whether I'm at home, whether I'm out getting my coffee at my favorite coffee shop, or whether I'm even on the beach in beautiful San Diego where I live. This thing is the perfect laptop for people who want to be a little more subtle, but also get their game on. That's why it's my everyday carry.
Welcome back, Apex family. It's time for game number 4, and this is where the playoffs start to get interesting. We have our match point format, and Dan, there's a couple of teams now very, very close to that 50-point threshold, and Na'Vi are the team leading the way.
And I just saw the poll there. The actual highest prediction for when these finals would finish was going to be 4 games. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. No one is on match point yet, but Na'Vi are very close, only 8 points away. If we go off the fact that we've already seen 2 20-plus point games today, I'd say about 5 teams have the chance this game to get onto match point if they have one of those big games that we've already seen. But of course, that is going to be a difficult task, and maybe we're going to start to see some of those teams lower end of the leaderboard start to pick up the pace a little bit.
Well, we'll take a look at the points and scoring just to remind you all of how it works. If you don't know by now, then I'm sure if you are someone who's been watching for a while, they'll get you up to speed very, very quickly. But essentially, first place is where you secure 12 points, and you can see the corresponding points going down by placement, and 1 additional kill point will be added to your score per kill. So kills are absolutely vital at this point for the chasing pack. For those teams that are at the top, though, Dan, placement should get them over that 50-point threshold.
Yeah, that's all Na'Vi should really be focusing on this point, is just getting to the latter stages of this game, ensuring that they get those placement points, and not focusing too much on kills. It can be very tempting to chase after them, but if you put yourself in a vulnerable situation, you could get 6 kills at the start of the game, not get the placement, and you still won't be on that match point. So they need to be thinking a little bit more intelligently about where they're rotating, where they're going to position themselves in this game. And maybe as we start to see teams get closer to match point mark, we might see a few composition changes. We've seen Cryptos kind of changed in and out. We've seen Gibraltar's being added to the mix. The majority of the lobby have a Gibraltar, and I think it's very much needed. Those bubbles are so important.
Yeah, one thing I'm a little bit surprised at, just looking at the leaderboards at the moment, is seeing Alliance down in 17th position. They haven't done a huge amount of damage in comparison to some of the other teams in the lobbies as well. When you're playing that Revenant Octane composition, you would expect to see them doing a little bit more damage. We do have an opportunity to look at where that beacon is going to be lighting up as well, and you can see Lava Fissure, Countdown, Train Yard, and Staging, all POIs that are going to be involved towards this endgame.
Yeah, the east side of the map not getting much love so far today. It does seem like World's Edge and the west side seems to be very favourable. 789 again in the early stages here, just looting up, and we'll probably have a little gander around to see if they can pick up some early KP as they've done in previous games. But you are right, we expected a lot of aggression out of Alliance. We thought they were going to be picking up KP, running especially that Revenant combo. But it hasn't just worked out for them. They got griefed very heavily in the previous game. You actually heard Cooler laughing about it in their listening, saying, hey, they just got hit by 2 crypto drones and a Gibby bombardment, and they were getting railgunned. And they laughed. They said that's what you get for playing Revenant. Sometimes people don't like certain compositions going up against them.
So to bring you up to speed with how we're standing at the moment, Na'Vi currently top of the leaderboards, 42 points on the board for them. So 8 points away. The chasing pack, Reply Tome Esports, 38. Flavor of the Month behind them with 33. Cooler, 33. Gambit, 33. 789 on 27. And Fenerbahce with 26. I mean, all of these teams with one big game here could cross that points threshold. And that's an interesting thing for me because a lot of the time when we see match point format, we see 1 or 2 teams kind of creep over the line. And then, like Tom was saying on the desk, they have that mark on their back. Everyone in the lobby is thinking, if we see them, they have to go. They have to be taken out immediately to give us the opportunity to continue in this tournament. But when 4 or 5 teams get onto match point, we heard it from Rocky yesterday from NRG saying, the lobby changes once again. When there's 4 or 5 teams on match point, all of a sudden you don't get focused. You can play your own game once again, and it's going to be interesting to see if that happens as we roll through these games.
Well, Nessie are starting to make their way in. They were number 1 on your fan poll, so let's have a little listening and see what they're thinking.
There's no armors!
One in my top.
He was walking up at me, cracked.
Yeah.
He bubbled.
Oh my god. I'm coming to this house and running over.
You can keep looting, just keep looting, it's fine.
Yeah, but I don't wanna... Oh my god.
You need to pick up sniper ammo for me. You have
I got
to.
some. I got 12.
I have 18 bullets from my...
Yeah, I got 12, bro.
They're in countdown winner now looking.
Yes, we just have to get to your house ASAP. I got some more for you. I don't think we can craft it without TP bubble, by the way. I got bullets for you.
Coming over. I didn't even...
Navi's walking up now, taking height.
That's fine, let them...
Well, I'm coming over.
Alright, I'm here. Here, I drop you sniper ammo inside.
Yeah, I got sniper ammo PT.
I have a 2x wingman. I'm not happy, but what can I do? You want the 2x, May, or no?
Want to trade? Wingman for triple tech?
Yeah,
Guys,
definitely.
where are they?
Here, you have a lot of bullets as well. I don't know right now, I'm not looking.
I don't know, I have to drop back down.
I'm up top, I don't see anyone. Maybe go craft now.
I will
Yeah,
go
dropping
craft, just
sniper-
stand on the
sniper
roof and look for me.
I am
somehow.
on the roof, I am
Dropping
on the
sniper
roof.
bullets inside.
One team is in this glass door, I think we're fine though. Oh. Shooting me from fucking rock.
Are you not looking at me or not?
I can't, no. I'm armor swapping.
I can kind of stay outside of you here.
Yes, I'm on this side now. I can't stay on the other side. I can't stay on this side either, I think. I can.
One knock.
72.
They're in the
they're
open,
fine.
mate.
Yeah, in the open.
Someone TP'd on me! Someone TP'd on me!
I don't see them. I'm looking.
It's a solo wraith. They took the TP!
Why armor?
Crack crypto!
Flash.
We'll jump back into the comms just as the action starts to kick off. It sounded like Nessie were pretty happy with the building that they've managed to get. You can see the zone is pulling towards them. Maybe not the armor situation though, Dan. I get the feeling that particularly Graceful wasn't too happy with what World's Edge was presenting him.
Yeah, they're going to have to do a little bit of damage to try and get those grey armors up to at least blue so they have something to work with. It was Cooler who started to maneuver their way a little bit close by in this building, and there was the possibility of maybe a little fight, but I don't think anyone wants to take it right now because this zone is likely pulling towards them. They've got some fantastic buildings and they should be able to get to that late game if they can continue to hold those spots. But always interesting to see how teams are going to be playing, what they plan to do with the rotation, where they think the zone is going to be pulling, and of course, if they're happy with their loot.
Yeah, only one team been eliminated so far as we jump on board with New Esports, the winner of one of our early games here in the EMEA playoffs. See if they can put some more points on the board. They're currently sat in a fairly good position at the moment as well. Down in 8th place, so falling off a little bit from what we saw earlier on, but Australis, who haven't had the greatest of starts, currently in 18th place. They're looking to get aggressive here, and when you are down in 18th place, Dan, take some fights. You know what I mean? You've got to turn this tournament around, Australis. Get angry, get in some faces, get some knocks, get some kills.
But at the same time, if you haven't been able to win those fights, you're not going to be oozing with confidence, and you know how good these lobbies are. So you might be thinking, well, actually, perhaps our best chance of getting points here is placement, is trying to rotate, is trying to survive. We are seeing the Rampart in play, though, and that is something I am a big fan of. I love seeing differences in the Legend selection, and maybe this Rampart could do a little bit of damage in the late game with her turret, but I guess we'll see and we'll find out.
We're going to jump over to watch Reply Totem Esports at the moment, currently sat in 2nd place. They're 12 points off of crossing that 50-point threshold to put themselves onto match point, so they've got to have a pretty decent game here in this game number 4 to push them over. And they're making an interesting rotation. They're going to be moving toward the snake buildings here in Sorting Factory, and I think they might have just spotted out a team, or at least scoping out a team and making sure that area is safe for them to move up to. Should be, as you can see, a lot of teams have already moved their way across. And this is an interesting rotation for me, really swinging wide onto where that zone is going to be moving. Flavor of the Month now making their rotation as well, moving across towards Harvester. And to be fair to Flavor of the Month, they're currently sat in 3rd position, and you think about zones and where they've got to move. There've been a lot of west zones, and they drop over at Lava City, so they've had a very, very good tournament at the moment, working on some very long rotations and making the most out of bad situations.
They've been doing really well, and it's not only been their 3v3 fights, but it's also the clutch situations when just one of them is left. We saw how close Noth was to winning a 1v2 to actually get them a victory in one of the earlier games. But they are definitely one of the teams I think has the possibility of getting match point in this game if they are able to have a big game. Alongside the likes of Cooler, Gambit, Totem, and Na'Vi, we could all see them getting to match point. And now, Flavor of the Month, they are pushing up. They're looking to get a little bit aggressive here.
Yeah, look who it is again. Hackis is down, and it's Alliance who are on the back foot once more. The team who love to pressurize other teams at the moment are just getting beamed by the 301 and beamed by the flatline here of Taylor as well. I mean, that is a clean wipe. Alliance, I just don't know what's going wrong for them at the moment. It's just one of those days where it seems like everything they're trying is just backfiring.
Yeah, considering they are down in the bottom 4 of the leaderboards, they needed a big game to try and catch up with the rest of the lobby, and it is not going to be this game. Flavor of the Month will happily take that KP. They can now have a little look and scan around to see if anyone else is able to be picked up rotating from this particular area. And it means they get loot, and maybe, you know, this could be the start of their move towards that match point eligibility. And I wonder how many teams we're going to get after this game. I'm pretty certain we're going to find 1, Mark. It would be great if we could find 2, because of course it would make things very interesting going into that match number 5. But in the moment, we need to see some of these teams who are at the top of the leaderboards just get to the late stages of this game.
See some teams here rotating through Skyhook as well. You can see Fenerbahce Esports. They're set up at the moment, just playing right on the edge of circle, making sure that their back is clear. I'm not sure if they're aware if there's any teams that are just trying to check at the moment. There's no teams that are rotating late, maybe through the ring. Shot's going to be coming in here from Microfibers for Flying Camels. And maybe he is going to become the Flying Camel that he wants to be. You can believe you can be a Flying Camel. You can become the Flying Camel if you've got a jump pad and you're playing as Octane. Unfortunately for him, though, his teammate has fallen now. Microfibers is going to have to try and back out. Hits the stim to get that pace boost, and now he's going to be running away towards his teammate who's in all sorts of problems. You can see Foze at the moment in a 1v1. He should be taken down as well. And now it's up to Microfibers. 1v3 situation for him. Not looking good here for Flying Camels.
Yeah, it's not looking very likely, but I have seen camels fly, so you never know. Maybe he can survive here. Has to just dip round this corner, but he's not going to be able to. And that is going to be Flying Camels eliminated. And finally, 4Gang get the upper hand here in Skyhook, but for how long? Because there is another team here and involved.
Skyhook, a very busy place for the last few moments. And looks like it's going to be continuing to be for the next 35 seconds or so. Ultimate Accelerant going to be popped here by the Caustic as well. Just give them the option. Maybe getting that ultimate a little bit sooner than they would have previously. It looks like it won't be available for this fight. Sabron going to get the armor swap now on the Rampart, who isn't going to be too useful in this situation. You can see the third Impactor in a great position, though. They're ahead of both of these teams fighting at the moment. They've managed to out-rotate them. And now if that fight does break down and there's a couple of knocks, they'll have the opportunity to gatekeep and pick up some easy KP should they need to.
And Third Impact, they've been doing a lot of damage in these games, and they've been able to survive to the latter stages. Got a decent amount of kills, 9 kills at the moment. They just need one of those big matches where they get to the final 3 with a lot of KP to push themselves up with the rest of the leaders. Australis, they were having a little look around to see whether that team that was originally contesting them was still going to be looking for a scrap, but it looks like the early rotate is going to be made, but they're going to be walking straight into Third Impact here.
Yeah, this is difficult here, like I'm saying. Third Impact just in such a power position here. By having that slightly quicker rotation, recognizing the opportunity to move forward, now they can hold this team out. And for Australis, unfortunately, they're kind of stuck between a Third Impact and a hot ring. And they're getting pushed from the back by the zone. There is a player in the corner they've got to be careful of as well. Looks like they will pick up at least a KP there onto Road from EGS, but you can see they're just coming under all sorts of fire now. The Gibby bombardment coming down. Third Impact with the portal down as well. Ziki looking to move in, maybe finish off some kills, but recognizing that they didn't get the damage that they initially wanted, so backing out smartly for third impact.
Yeah, only going to be that second circle, so it's not going to be too bad in terms of damage you're taking from the ring. As long as they've got meds, they should be able to get out, but it depends which way they go. Third impact should still be able to wait comfortably for them. Gambit under a little bit of pressure here as well. Hardeki having to bat up, but it looks like the rest of the team were able to take down 303. So Gambit still march on. 16 squads remaining. There is a purple armor there to pick up and probably re-shield if they need it. They are going to have to rotate into this next circle, and you can see pings coming through as they start to consider how they're going to achieve that mark. And you've got to be very careful because every route that you can take seems to be covered by the majority of teams at the moment. Everyone's spread out quite a lot in this lobby.
Not having a great game though. You can see he's kill leader of the lobby at the moment. 3 kills to his name for Flavor of the Month, and I think they managed to steal one of those KP away from Gambit in that fight as well. Now they're making their rotation. And it looks like they're going to be safe for that next zone as well. Triple take in the hands of Pierre as well, so he'll be able to do some damage and also clear out the route for their rotation. Speaking of which, let's jump into the comms now. Flavor of the Month. They're currently feeling really good in this game. They've got KP on board as well. Let's see what the comms are like.
Det är viktigt att du håller vid liv, Pierre, alltså.
Ja.
Kommer scanna bakåt.
Okay.
Är det någon som fightar där kanske? Det kan vara. TP här nere och grejer. TP här. Jag ser ju inte dem på toppen. Fight här bak. Håll den här sidan. Håll den här sidan. Håll den här sidan. Okej. Jag håller här bak. Vi måste tänka om några kommer här också. Ja då. Håll där och så håller du train. Ja. De är nere på husen här nere just nu ett lag. Jag kan GB borta.
Mycket fight här.
Nu ska det gå tillbaka. Nej, jag hinner inte gå tillbaka och lota. Upp till Doriton, tänker du? Ja. Och Tevi. Men nu får liksom, så sitter folk under och grejer liksom, så är med på alla sådana små grejer. Ja, jag har skannat under oss här nere.
Ja, jag fick en lila där.
Vi kan byta om med sand. Jag har 60 ifrån, men vi byter sand bara. Bara fortsätt köra. Jag lag där uppe fortfarande. De är inte i där.
Åh, vilken snipe!
Train ska ut nu. Ja, så där man kan få lite kills. 40 på Gibby. Lila.
De springer här.
So Flavor of the Month safe for now. Currently sat in third place with 33 points on the board. Looking to score those final points they need to get onto match point, Dan.
Really important that Cooler actually finish that kill off, but they're not able to. Having to back off. The bombardment comes through now. Can Serdell get inside? And he can, thankfully. Otherwise that could have been a little bit tricky. But they were doing a lot of damage to that team coming towards them. Cooler only 17 points off match point. So if they can get to, you know, the final 3 here, maybe they could be one of our first to reach it. Third Impact also trying to get involved in a fight. Spitfire and Eva 8 for Ziki. This is going to be a 3v3.
There's going to be a huge fight going down, and oh, the chopper is always going to take the opportunity to sing, as we well know. Great shots for the E3 as well. Oh, Third Pie now comes in, and what seemed like a very, very comfortable push for Third Impact all of a sudden looked incredibly uncomfortable as they were wiped off the face of game number 4. What a turnaround that was for them. And that's what happens in these situations where you have teams alive and all these teams in different POIs. You make one mistake, you make one push where a team is just waiting in the wings, and all of a sudden your game gets ended.
It's whether Third Impact recognised they were about to be pinched, so they just tried to win that initial fight to ensure they got some KP, or whether they had no idea that other team was going to be coming from behind, because I feel like if you knew that team was there, you're reluctant to push out, you back off, you wait, you want them to initiate first so you can be the third party. Either way, New Esports, they're able to rack up those kills, and that is some easy KP for them in the end. They've done very well to be patient and push in late. And I wonder whether New Esports now can continue that train and get to this final circle. You can see Kick are situated quite well. They have a little bit of a high ground advantage over Cooler Esports. That was the team they were having a scrap with earlier. But I think these caustics are very important in these lobbies, Mark. Now we have such little amounts of them, you are reluctant to push a caustic team when you come up against one. It's just so difficult to try and get in and around them.
Yeah, big moments here for Kick Esports as well. You can see that Cooler do have the position on them as far as zone is concerned. Kick are the team who are going to be forced to rotate first. You can see the portal went in. It looks like it might have been a little bit of a dummy, maybe, to try and force another opportunity to take the eyes away from them for just a few moments where they can maybe play that lower bridge and move ahead of Cooler Esports. It looks like that will be the move. So Cooler Esports have got to be wise to this, and it looks like they are. They're getting some good angles at the moment. Jack are going to be forced to use the ult as well of the Bloodhound to get that speed to cross. The bubble going to be used as well, and Kick Esports, it's a risky move from them, but they have to make it, and it looks like for now at least they'll be safe, but maybe not. The push now coming in from Cooler.
Kick are the team that have to actually make the play. They're only on 11 points right now. They need to push forward, try and get KP, but they're pushing out and they're being shot by everyone else in the lobby. Cooler have done well to deal some damage, but they also have to move up. Looks like they're okay. Kicker down to just 2, but for how long? Because it doesn't look like they're going to survive much longer down in this lava. A lot of eyes on them right now. Down to just 9 squads. Gambit are picking up some kills. What damage can Kick do? Denze going to be the last remaining player as the Wraith. It looks like Kick down and out. And we're down to just 8 squads.
And it's Gambit who is starting to heat up, and I see that name in the kill feed time and time again, and it's Hardeki. And if that man starts to catch fire, well, the rest of the lobby is going to know about it. He loves to put kills on the board, and when he starts to roll, the whole lobby starts to rock. Now we jump back over onto Flavor of the Month. Still looking to secure those points they need to move on to match point. In a pretty good position right now. Shots with a triple take. He's going to drop some shields around the corner, but also a very difficult rotation for them. They've got teams in front of them that are holding down arguably more advantageous positions, so we're going to have to see some damage from those longer range weapons and then the opportunity taken to push up on that damage and take those fights.
New Esports picking up some big kills as well, and 3 of our top 5 teams still alive in this lobby. It's important to point out Na'Vi were taken out earlier, Totem Esports were taken out earlier. Did they do enough to get onto match point? But we've got to look at the likes of Cooler, Gambit, Flavor of the Month. They all have the possibility to get onto match point with a big kill game here, as New Esports have managed to do some damage, and now they can back off and move towards this next circle. They're in a nice position, but they are going to be pressured by quite a few teams here.
Yeah, they're in the best position on the map at the moment, in my opinion. They're pretty much in zone. They're holding out teams as well who are going to be in the crossfire of not only them, but other teams that are trying to rotate in as well. And here comes the move now from Flavor of the Month. You can say Taylor putting down that portal. He wants to play behind these bins, and he's managed to find a safe spot for Flavor of the Month here inside of that next zone. It's a beautiful portal, and now he's going to just pop back as well to see if he can get some late damage on teams rotating in. I love this communication and execution and idea coming in from Flavor of the Month.
What can Gambit do now? Backs against the wall, grenades coming from here, there, and everywhere. Artico's the last remaining. Gambit are wiped in 6th spot, but they had done a lot of damage, and now the rest of the teams come in to try and farm what's left, and it's Flavor of the Month picking up kills, down to just 4 teams now, Mark.
Yeah, Flavor of the Month moving in and seeing the third-party opportunity, the fourth-party opportunity, whatever you want to call it. It was the best opportunity for them to get involved with some KP and farm their way towards that match point. They've got those kills on the board now, and you can see Cooler. They're up in the top right-hand side of your screen. Flavor of the Month and New Esports, your final 3 teams as we come down to this final fight.
Yeah, Flavor and Cooler both on 33 points coming into this as well, so a victory plus 5 kills would be enough to get them on match point. We've already seen them farming. You can already see the kills and assists that are there for the team, so just a victory here for either team should be enough to get to match point. And New Esports, well, a big game from them. Maybe they can creep up as well, but you can see all 3 teams separated at the moment. Everyone's going to be reluctant to be that first team to engage. You want to be the last team to get involved in the fight, but as that circle slowly creeps in, it's going to be about positioning. Who has more objects to hide behind? Who has the high ground? The crypto ult comes in. Is that going to be enough to initiate anything from any of these teams?
Well, it looks like New Esports are going to try and push onto Cooler, and that is going to be music to the ears of Flavor of the Month as well. That will be the signal for a third-party opportunity. Big damage being done here by Postkill as well with the Spitfire. Unfortunately, trying to push through this gas is so difficult to do, but it doesn't matter if your name's Roger Bodger. He's got an EVA in hand, and he's laying some shots down. And now comes Flavor of the Month. You can see that Pierre's also got a Prowler in his hand that he's going to be able to decimate people up close.
Now, Flavor of the Month now pushing in. What can Kashira do? It's some amazing damage, but it's not enough. Arkstar comes down, has to try and back off to the rest of the team. Roger Bodger's still alive, gets back up to a full gold shield, but it is 2 versus 3. Taylor should have time to heal up.
Pierre trying to poke here and do some damage, and Noth is going to be once again the player to get the knock. 5 kills to his name, and now he's moving in for the final one as well. Flavor of the Month needed some points to cross that 50-point threshold, and surely now they have done it. They will take your game number 4, and it was beautiful execution from them, not just in that final fight, but in the stages building up to it. Flavor of the Month are looking so good.
It was difficult for Cooler. They were in that position for so long at the start of the game where they weren't able to loot that successfully, and they ran out of meds, and I feel like New Esports kind of sussed that out. They pushed, they did the damage, they got a couple of kills, and then Flavor of the Month took full advantage of the third parties. But some incredible shots. That 1v1 at the end was so important from Taylor. And that is going to be enough points. We are going to see Flavor of the Month go on to match point mark, but the big question is, does anyone else join them? Cooler were on 33 points as well. They won't pick up, of course, the big 12 points from winning. They didn't get that many kills, but I'm hoping there's going to be at least 2 teams on match point.
I'd have to agree with you. I think it's always better when we have a couple of teams cross that threshold. It makes things very, very interesting. But we do have our first teams crossing that match point threshold, which makes this next game even more interesting. We're going to go back to the desk now to Kate and Tom to break it all down.
Thank you, gents. And you know what? Yes, we will definitely break it all down. But here, let me break it down for you here. This is what game number 4 was all about. Farming, a party or 2, and then farming again. Well done, GG, to Flavor of the Month. Tom, how did we get here?
Yeah, Flavor of the Month. I'm glad we got to listen with them where they slowly creeped up onto the edges of the zone. That zone was extremely unpredictable. I think that everybody expected it to pull a little bit more harder towards the lava fish area. That's why we saw the setup over towards that major building, which was being held, and it was being really nicely held by Cooler, too, on the other side. And then you saw a new go and take that little crevice in the cave area, and that proved to be a very useful spot, too. So there was a lot going on in that game, but I think that the